Welcome to this explainer. Today we're unpacking a truly bizarre phenomenon, the Salish Sea mystery. Now, the Pacific Northwest is obviously famous for its stunning, rugged coastlines, right? But over the last couple of decades, something deeply unsettling has been washing up on its shores. We're talking about human feet. Dozens of them, severed and still entirely encased inside their shoes. And to this very day, the origins of several of these discoveries remain completely unknown.
You know, most mysteries involve missing people, but this one, it involves something that keeps showing up. Think about it. Usually when we're trying to solve a dark puzzle, we're looking for things that had vanished. A missing person, a missing car, missing evidence. But the Salish Sea mystery completely flips that on its head. This mystery involves something that just keeps appearing, over and over again, completely uninvited. Imagine walking along a peaceful beach and stumbling upon a shoe, only to realize the sheer shock of what's actually waiting inside.
Okay, let's dive into this. It all started on August 20th, 2007 on Jedediah Island. A young girl is walking along the beach on this small, remote island off the coast of British Columbia. It's a beautiful, sunny day, the kind of day where absolutely nothing bad should happen. And then she spots a shoe sitting right there on the sand. It was a size 12 Adidas sneaker. But as she walks over to it and picks it up, she immediately notices something is terribly wrong. It's heavy, like way too heavy to just be an empty shoe washed in by the tide. Inside that sneaker was a human foot, still wearing a sock, and cleanly severed right at the ankle. She screamed, dropped the shoe, and ran. Police were called, they collected the evidence, but they had absolutely no idea that this single, horrifying discovery was just the beginning.
Because just look at this timeline. 6 days after that first discovery, on August 26th, another foot is found on Gabriella Island, just a few miles away. Once again, it's inside a shoe, and once again, it's cleanly severed at the ankle. Police were completely baffled. 2 feet in 6 days in the exact same area, and it didn't stop there. In February 2008, a third foot washes up, then a fourth in May, and by June 2008, a fifth foot appears. Just one after another, foot after foot washing up across the beaches of the Salish Sea in rapid succession.
So what does this all mean? Was there a serial killer? As you can imagine, this ignited an absolute firestorm. The media went into a complete frenzy, printing headlines all over the world. People living in the Pacific Northwest were terrified. The immediate burning question on everyone's mind was, is someone violently dismembering victims and dumping their bodies into the normally peaceful ocean? The pattern just seemed way too specific, too grim to just be a coincidence. The sheer panic meant the police had to launch a massive, exhaustive investigation to find out exactly what was happening on these beaches.
To get to the bottom of this, investigators began testing the DNA from every single foot they recovered. And what they found was, well, relieving, but also deeply disturbing. The DNA proved that these feet did not belong to traditional murder victims. There was no serial killer. Instead, the DNA matched people who had already been reported missing. Some were individuals who had tragically jumped from bridges. Others had been involved in water accidents or had simply disappeared under unknown circumstances. So no axe-wielding killer haunting the coastlines. But that revelation brought up a brand new question. If there was no killer, how were these feet being so cleanly severed and ending up on the beach?
The answer lies in a fascinating, albeit kind of macabre scientific explanation: natural disarticulation. This is the process where joints separate naturally as a body decomposes in water. When a human body enters the ocean and just remains there, it eventually begins to decompose. And as that process happens, the joints of the human skeleton naturally begin to weaken and separate from one another. The ankle joint, as it turns out, is actually one of the weakest joints in the human body. So as the body breaks down in the ocean, the foot simply separates from the leg, naturally, cleanly, without any cutting, without any violence, and without any foul play. And this brilliantly illustrates the exact forensic mechanics of the mystery. Let's walk through it. Step 1. The tragic event occurs. The body enters the water and decomposition begins. Step 2. That weak ankle joint we just talked about naturally separates. But Step 3 is the real game changer here. The foam sneaker acts as a boat and floats. You see, modern sneakers are manufactured with foam soles, and foam, of course, floats. So the shoe effectively acts like a little buoyant boat, protecting the foot inside and carrying it across miles and miles of ocean currents. This perfectly explains why they were only finding feet. Not hands, not heads, just feet, safely tucked inside floating shoes, drifting for months or even years across the Salish Sea until the tide drops them on the beach.
Now you might hear that science and think, okay, mystery solved. Bodies decompose, foam sneakers float, case closed. But I want to shift our focus here, because this is where the reality gets truly tragic. Over 20, that is how many individual human feet have washed ashore to date. Over 20 individual human beings whose journeys ended in the depths of these waters. The science explains the mechanics, sure, but it does absolutely nothing to solve the lingering mystery of the actual human beings attached to those shoes.
Because the deeply unsettling truth is that several feet remain unidentified, with no name and no family claiming them. These are completely unsolved cases, which means that right now, somewhere out there, are people who simply disappeared one day. Their families have absolutely no idea what happened to them. Their bodies remain lost somewhere in the vast depths of the Salish Sea, slowly decomposing in the dark. And occasionally, the ocean just sends a piece of them to shore, floating in a sneaker, almost as if they're reaching out from the deep, asking to be found.
To really understand the heavy emotional toll of these unsolved cases, consider a specific foot found back in 2008. Investigators actually thought they had a breakthrough. They expected an identity, they matched the shoe to a missing person, and they made that incredibly heavy phone call. They notified a grieving family telling them, "We found your loved one." But then, the DNA reality hit. The testing came back, and it was a crushing blow. The foot did not match the missing person. In fact, it matched nobody in any database anywhere in the entire world. The family's closure was just ripped away, and to this very day, that 2008 foot has no name. Nobody knows who it belongs to. It's a complete ghost.
So, the crucial point we need to take away from this explainer is perfectly captured in this quote. The science explains how the feet get there, but it cannot explain who all of these people were, or what happened to them in their final moments. Forensic biology and oceanography gave us a neat, tidy answer for the physical phenomenon of natural disarticulation. We solved the how, but the Salish Sea mystery is still fundamentally an open case because we failed to solve the who. Every single shoe that washes up represents a life, a story, and a completely unsolved disappearance.
Which brings us to our final question. Who do these nameless feet belong to, and will their stories ever be remembered? The Salish Sea mystery continues today. Feet still wash ashore occasionally, bringing a fresh wave of dark questions with them. Some mysteries, it seems, just resist being neatly tied up with a bow. So as you process all the science and the data we've looked at today, I want to leave you with this haunting thought. As time washes on, will the true stories of how these nameless, unclaimed people ended up in the cold waters of the Pacific Northwest ever be remembered? Or will they be lost to the ocean forever?